4K!
And also Web3 breakfast because we're about to take over this motherfucker.
Yo, y'all don't wanna know. Fuck around and see it, cause you know I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Web3 breakfast, serving size like Texas. I'm a beast, yeah, baby. You know I'm reckless. We stacking blue chips, my people by the dip. Matte Black Lambo coming soon. Don't forget, sign the check.
Web3 breakfast. Fuck a Lexus, push a Maserati, keep a diamond Jesus on my necklace. I'm living reckless. Fuck a job, cash the check, grab the bag, hit the flight, we on the next one. Wife changing money, just ask my honey. Got a diamond on my face, I can't help it, I'm new money.
Web3 breakfast, wake and bake, appreciate the checklist, moderate the stage, perplexing everything you say, and not to mention, I think I rug, maybe I should shrug it off, go touch some grass, perhaps some plug.
Web3 breakfast,
Web3 breakfast,
Web3 breakfast. Yo, what is up? How we doing today? How's everybody feeling? How we living? Man, I am super excited about today's show. We are joined by my guy, Bleeves Crypto. What is up, dude?
The man, the myth, the legend is here. He who is always right has joined the Breakfast Club to have a little breakfast and break down this crazy ass crypto world that just, guys, it's absolutely bonkers and crazy. I want to thank you guys for having me on.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man. Thank you for joining us. Should be a fun conversation today. I mean, not only are we going to be talking about potentially this ETF dropping today. Now, are you kidding me with the news yesterday with the old hack? The SEC Twitter account got hacked. Now, we're going to get into this because that is, to me, absolutely insanity, that they're supposed to be out there protecting us, but they can't even protect a Twitter account. My goodness, how terrible is that?
That is absolutely wild.
Whoa, I know. Anyway, that's going to be something we got to get into. Yesterday, I figured that we were going to see a massive drop. You would believe, you and I, you actually showed me that liquidation map. This was probably the first time on Crypto Crossfire that I learned about that liquidation heat map. So I was studying that thing yesterday, and we both called that same thing, that thing's going to rip down to 44.6. And
Yep.
by golly, did it do it.
Sure does. And you know, the easy thing is to always figure where the money is where the market is going. And you know, it's not 100%, but if it's 80% or if it's 75%, then you know exactly what the market. You're an expert. You're already an expert in predicting what's going to happen. I mean, it's as simple as that. So, you know, just look at where the money is and follow the money.
I love that. What does your shirt say?
Things I do in my spare time.
Nice.
Think about crypto, talk about crypto, check my portfolio, research new crypto projects.
I love that.
Just some random crypto shirt that I found somewhere.
I love it. All of us right now, I tell you what, all of us are getting less sleep. You know, the excitement is back. You know, the anticipation of what the heck is going on. You know, the bull is back, baby. All of that's going on. So, I vibe with that. Like, it is 24/7 crypto right now. Turbo, what are you feeling right now? Were you up late last night in the casino?
No, man, I've just been grinding, bro. Actually, I was actually sitting over here. I'm offended a little bit. Not even really offended. I'm just a little upset. Well, first off, good morning, everyone. My road has it's just locked. All the lights are on. It's all the way up. It's not working now. As soon as the show started, so we're right on schedule with that.
Love that.
But I was a little upset you didn't ask me what my shirt says.
I can't see anything on your shirt. It just looks like a red sweatshirt. What does it say?
Oh, thanks. It says the Naughty List Club.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
What's the Naughty List Club?
It's this new NFT project that we're going. No, I'm just kidding. I found this at a store, and I was like, "Yo, that would be the dopest NFT project ever." So I had to buy it.
You know what? That would be something. Opportunity missed. We just got through Christmas. That would have been something that, if now you and I have a little bit difference of opinion about NFTs. Bleeves, I want to get your opinion about this. And I think we've changed Turbo's mind just a little bit on this. We've swayed him over to the coin side right now because that's where the action is at. NFTs right now, they're dead, right? Like for the moment.
I mean, so here's the yes, they are, but the problem with the problem with that is that it's the same thing as meme coins. Meme coins are dead until one of them rises up, and it's not. For example, you had Pepe a few months back, and you've got every once in a while you get one of them that rises up. So same thing happens with NFT projects. One of them kind of rises up, and it does something, and then it feels like we get a revival, and then everybody gets a tiny little pump in their value. And then we just find new lows. So until there's a reversal, and by the way, all we're paying for most of the time with NFTs at this point is what are they? Profile pics. I mean, they don't really serve any function or value yet, despite that we know that NFTs might be the future of everything.
Yep.
It just, we're not there yet. And there's nobody out there really doing anything about it, or at least nobody out there doing it in a way that resonates with people.
Absolutely, man. One of our favorite sites. We love the folks at NFTgo.io. I actually have a meeting with them with Rommel. I'm going to be part of their 2024 report, and so I'm going to have a meeting with him, and I got to put together something. But this has been one of our favorite sites to check all throughout the market. Kind of give it's like the heat map. It's not perfect. It's not the absolute end all be all, but it's a really good indicator of the sentiment of the market, right? Not only you've got the barometer. We're at 31, which we've seen this thing down as low as 7. We've seen it as high as 51. So, we're doing all right considering that number that I've always maintained that we have got to be looking for in this NFT ecosystem to see the swing is this 30-day profit and loss. Now, for a long time, this number of people in the loss was far in excess of greater than a 10% ratio to the people that were in the profit, right? So like, for example, with this, like we would have seen, 52,000 people or less in the profit, where now we got 58. So we've got that 10% ratio a little bit out of the way, where once we see that green, that the people in the profit really start to go up, that's a better indication of where the NFT market, the Web3 market, if you will, is going. And really to what Bleeves was talking about, PFP rules the world in NFT, but that's not the end all be all. That's not where the ecosystem's going. We've got game, collectibles, art, metaverse, utility, and land. We're going to start to see those go up, music go up, social go up, DeFi. All those are going to start to get higher up in the market cap of this ecosystem as it matures, because the PFP craze was, like we like to say, our beta test, right?
Well, last week, all the top NFT sales was art. And for a long time, man, I never really understood this whole like art thing, like why people are like, oh, it's such an easy way to like launder money. I was like, I don't understand like how this works. And then I saw it firsthand, right? You get to create the value, whatever you say that value is, you know what I mean? Like, so I think art NFTs are going to continue to go up, as we see more of this for sure.
And look, this is a question, got this from Crypto Bundy over on YouTube. What about what's happening with MAYC? I tell you what, I have been
what's happening?
I have been trying to sell my mutant now for 2 weeks. And it's been on the floor, but like if you watch the sales, it is fucking wash trading like you can't imagine. That's all that it is. It's all WETH offers, and none of the actual there's maybe one a day that's actually purchased with ETH, maybe a couple here and there, whatever. But it is all just wash trading, and you can tell just by seeing like what gets WETH offered, and then it goes up a little skosh higher. WETH offered up, it's just all baloney. It is all just wash trading garbage, and until that problem goes away, we saw the coin system kind of starting to get cleaned up, with the whole Binance situation get pulled, but that's going to be an issue. What do you think about wash trading and NFTs? Bleeves, is that something that's going to have to be addressed in order for that ecosystem to mature?
I think that the ecosystem itself is what's going to fix it, because it's moving away from the profile pictures into gaming. Predominantly what we're talking about right now is I think the problem that we're facing right now is that we're calling NFTs, and everybody in the world is like, what the fuck is an NFT? They have no idea what it is. But when you rename NFT, in-game asset or something like that, you've absolutely changed. You're still an NFT. You still have a game on the blockchain, but you've changed the fundamental outlook for people of what this object is. And what you're doing is you create these in-game assets. And those are the things, by the way, that seem to be resonating with people. It's not really the profile pics as we move away. It's the in-game assets that are becoming the thing. So I really think that the market will take care of itself, and we can't do anything about the wash trading. We can't do anything because those are the people that were raised on it. Those are going to be the degens of this community, if you will, and they'll always be the ones that are continuing to do that same thing. So I don't think there's a win for wash trading at this point. I think there might be a few SEC arrests incoming. I think if you really break it down, that's an illegal practice, and they're going to catch a few of these guys doing some of that. And in fact, they already caught Binance. And one of the things that they were doing was that they were using wash trading and market makers in order to pump the value of projects that shouldn't have been pumped. And you're turning people into exit liquidity, and that is criminal. So I get the sense that it'll fix itself after a few arrests are made, and then we move and migrate away from profile pic to value.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Got to clean it up a little bit. Speaking of cleaning it up, we got a few hands to clean up. I don't know between Mike and Marauder who had their hand up first, but I'm going to go because we read.
It was Mike. It was Mike.
Okay. Well, look at you. You guys are such gentlemen here. I love that. Mike, go ahead. GM fam, how are you?
GM, what's going on, guys?
Living the dream, brother.
That's it. I want to kind of push back a little bit about the NFTs. I think NFT pictures right now may be dead, but I think NFTs when it comes to gaming are alive and well.
Yep.
I think they're the market, at least for like where I'm playing in big time, the market is moving like crazy. Things are selling all the time. Like you can list something on NFT for sale in craft, and it's sold the next day. So they're alive and well, and the prices have risen significantly from just the 3 months that I've been in this game. That they're up like hundreds of percent.
Yeah. Wow, I'm with you there. There are certain ecosystems that are not feeling quite the hurt. We know the PFP ecosystem is. I mean, floors on everything across the board is way down. I took I sold my lazy lion because I figured because I had an L hat and I sold it for like 0.56 or whatever. I figured like, listen, I'm not doing anything with it. That the floor keeps dropping on the collection overall. The L hat, I feel like I'll be able to get another one. I would rather deploy that capital into coins right now where I can make something happen, because that's where the action is. And then I can take some profits, go back and buy a new lazy lion if that's something I choose to do, if I feel like the community is back in action, which I mean, that's a different conversation for a different day. I'm not saying that they aren't, because I know that it's very active, but these are just opportunities now. It's opportunity time, and just sitting on the sidelines, even a half of an ETH, like that, you could turn that into something else very easily, very quickly. That's the magic of it.
I could to Bleeves' point. Good, Mike. We don't need to, reinvent the wheel here. We can just call NFT cosmetics skins. That's what Web2 games have been doing for decades now. You have cosmetic skins, in-game assets like crafting utilities and Bitcoin and whatnot. But we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Like Ticketmaster has been making NFTs for decades. So digital tickets are an NFT. Like we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to call them NFTs. Just call them what they are, because the idea is we want Web2 and Web3 to mesh together, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, NFT is a bad word to some people, right? And I think at some point, if we need something that is a broad generalization of what they are, right? And that's why I understand NFTs, but because like digital collectibles, digital assets, those I think are a little bit more friendly to most people, and they would understand that it may resonate and it's not an NFT, but that doesn't classify everything. Like if you have your reward card or your gym membership, that's not a digital collectible or a digital asset. That's just a digital card. So like, we got to find ways that we start to classify all this stuff so that it makes more sense to the masses, because we could love it or hate it. But if the masses don't like it, then it'll never work. Marauder.
Yo, GM guys.
GM.
I love the combos here. GM to you, Bleeves, man. I think this is my first time talking to you. Hope your morning's going well. Yeah, no, I love the combos here. You're spot on, especially with the whole rebranding of NFTs. That's just bound to happen. I mean, you're already seeing it being called digital collectibles or digital assets by a multitude of companies, and we'll probably develop some slang that's even more short form version of that at some point. Just because NFT is kind of a clunky thing to say, right? It's like
Digis.
NFT. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yo, slide me some digis, dog. Digibucks.
No, exactly. Spot on, man. The thing with PFPs though, so like I don't know, I definitely agree with what you guys are saying about PFPs. It's just like I feel they're more of like a status symbol, and more of like a hey, I'm a part of this club, rather than like something that's actual art. Like
Absolutely.
So art is always going to be a thing, like digital art, real art. That's always going to be a thing because people like buying art. They like knowing that like, hey, I own this exclusive piece of, whatever from this person. And it makes them feel good. And so people love collecting. They love all that stuff. I just feel like, a collectible more so in the sense of like a PFP would make more sense in like a trading card than like an actual picture, like a profile pic. So like, let's say like all the Bored Apes became like, trading cards, like baseball cards. Like that would make more sense to me than just like these, PFPs that are just like, hey, wear this,
Yeah.
And I think it's a symptom. And I think it's a symptom of like, what is it like? New tech combined with all the liquidity that we had in 2019, 2020, 2021, with all the stimulus checks and whatnot. So all those factors kind of gave the Bored Apes and other projects like it kind of like the right place, right time setting, where that's why they boomed. And I don't think it's the sole reason they boomed, but I think it was a majority of the reason they boomed was like right place, right time, lots of liquidity, new tech getting popular, etc. So that's pretty much my take on the whole thing.
Love that. Bleeves, were you going to go with something?
Yeah, I think we would, to what he was saying, like, one of the things that really caused this was stimmy checks where people, right place, right time. And everybody wanted, what do they call it on Sons of Anarchy? Their cut. Everybody wanted their cut to look right. So everybody had to have whatever the hot thing was. And you made a little money off meme coins. You made a little pump off of Dogecoin. You had a little money. Now you want to show people who you are. I mean, like the Bored Ape or the Mutant Ape, that was your Tesla that you were driving around on the internet with. So it was a status symbol. But to one of the broader things that these guys were saying, imagine the future right now. And I want to be honest with you, the future doesn't have NFTs in the best fashion yet. And by that, what I mean is NFTs are music. NFTs are books. NFTs are comic books, if you will. NFTs are baseball cards and football cards and whatever tradables that you have right now that you currently have stored in mom's basement or I guess you do the attic, of course, because you don't want the basement because of the water. But
Flooding.
those are your things that you collected. Those are your collectibles. Well, when they become digital, like I'm surprised that Topps doesn't have digital collectible cards only and exclusively now, and that they don't do a great job of promoting that. But part of the reason for that is your phone still kind of sucks. The reason that you don't have digital comic books exploding in the market is because your tablet kind of sucks and your phone's too small. We haven't bridged the gap yet on functionality to the point where it fits yet. There's a problem with the hardware, but as that hardware gets better, you're going to see a revolution in NFTs. And, if you're part of it, you're going to be at the forefront of it. But, even though, by the way, I will say this, your tablet doesn't weigh that much, but it's still cumbersome. When it's less cumbersome and it's like a Galaxy Fold, when your phone can fold out a little bit, when those things become the norm, and now you can just like flip your pages and you just do this across your screen and then bam, bam, bam. And because it's on the blockchain and it's digital, your comic book becomes a little more 3D. Your comic book has a little bit of motion to it. Once you start to really turn all of those pieces into something more, well, then your NFT market will start to absolutely explode. And your profile pics, instead of having an ape or a seal or something like that, You're going to have a number one Spider-Man. You're going to have a number one Batman. You know, you're going to have those will become your collectibles, and those will become your profile picks. And it's just a matter of time right now for the digital, you know, for the technology, the real world technology to create an opportunity for all of these things to happen. But that's how we're going to be trading cards. That's going to be trading comic books. It only makes sense.
Yeah. And maybe honestly, like, you know, with all of it, because most of that stuff is physical, maybe it all gets lumped into RWAs, and that's how the whole narrative gets changed. And because I think, and you know, there's a lot of people agree that RWAs, and while they did see, you know, some projects did see a little bit of a pump when the narrative started. I think the show is really going to be at some point here in 2024 where these projects are really going to start kicking off, and it could be, I don't know, maybe akin to like the 2017 ICO craze, where you're going to see some of these companies make a ton of money to be able to hopefully change industries. Hopefully it's not going to be the same thing that we saw where, you know, companies were bringing in, you know, projects were bringing in 30, 50, $100 million. And the next thing you saw was the founder, you know, on their yacht or ripping their Lambo, you know, on a racetrack or whatever. And it's just like, do you guys want to spend any on that on marketing? Maybe. No.
Well, you know, I was actually kind of like, maybe NFTs, not so much. But now that I hear this conversation, I think I better like triple down on these doggone NFTs. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, right? Like,
you got FOMO.
Oh my God, FOMO now. What's the next project? Like, let me in. You know, because especially when you think about like PFPs, you know what I'm saying? And you have an ability to pay for your identity now. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many, I mean, not everybody that you meet at the conventions are like, you know, regular people or, you know, cool people or people that you'd hang out with, right? Some of these people are literally just people who had the money to be able to buy their identity in. And you know what I mean? And I think that that's going to, you know, give it tons of great value, right? As NFTs grow, right? And we sit here and we say all of these capabilities and things that they can become, you know what I mean? Like maybe some of them rugs, you know, like in your wallet can go from being Dollar General rugs to Persian rugs.
Ooh, love that.
Just holding on to it. So
hand
I got a whole
Persian.
shop of Persian rugs. Yeah, feel free to go through my rug store, turbomated.eth, and help yourself.
There you go. I see we got one more hand from Marauder here, and then we're going to move on over to the markets. Marauder, what you got, fam?
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I just on the topic of the PFPs, I think the only PFP brands that are going to last are the ones that kind of solidified it in IP, like, you know, solidified a really solid like a brand, I guess is the right word, like making themselves very well known, very popular, something like Pudgy Penguins, you know, where like it's super popular, it's all over the place, they have tons of gifts, they're like everyone's using their gifts, everyone's buying their like plushies now, and I feel like having that PFP is going to hold some kind of, you know, value to that, whereas like having a PFP of a lazy lion, which no one knows about, is going to be like, because I know nothing about lazy lions, to be honest. I know nothing about them. None of my Web2 friends know anything about them. All my Web2 friends know about Pudgy Penguins, and they don't even know what NFTs are. So it's kind of like, in my mind, that brand like kind of permeates through society, and it becomes like infectious at that point. So if someone recognizes, you know, your PFP based on that brand, it makes it so like, oh shoot, Isle's a part of the club. Like Isle's got a Pudgy Penguins PFP. He's a part of the huddle, and people see value in that. And on the topic of RWAs, I think that to kind of shift gears here, I think that projects that basically capture the most yield or the most market fees are going to be the ones that succeed the most. So be on the lookout for that. All the projects like Ondu Finance or like Centrifuge, the ones that capture a lot of the private equity and treasury yields, definitely be on the lookout for those tokens, because those tokens are going to accrue the most value based on the amount of yield they're generating.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, man, we're going to make a big push with the RWAs. I said yesterday, and you know, I've reached out to about every RWA project that I could find on CoinGecko to start having the conversations to learn more about what they have got going on. So hopefully we'll get a chance to really connect with a lot of those projects. All right, Victor, what you got for us, dog?
GM, everybody. Nice to see you guys. I ain't seen you guys. I ain't talked to you guys since fucking Miami. Man.
Miami, baby. How you been?
Living good. I'm pushing back. I think RWAs are not the next move. I don't think Pudgy Penguins are worth a damn outside of base, and that's that. Like you said that your friends know about Pudgy Penguins. How many of them have Pudgy Penguin NFTs or have a plush toy? Like knowing about them and converting.
None of them.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, exactly. And that's funny because you say your friends, but my friends don't know shit about Pudgy Penguins. Don't know anything about them because they're all grown ass human beings that don't buy plush toys. It's like I think that like once we like get to like this idea that like it's like we need to find a better product market fit, gentlemen. This shit is crazy. Okay, everybody in this room, no one in this room is buying plush toys.
No.
None of us.
But that's
I
just had mine on screen.
I just want to finish going with RWAs. Like I was on this space with the RWAs the other day, right? And it was hilarious. So you're telling me that the next onboarding event for crypto is going to be this thing where you have to take your RWA, that you have to go find a company that'll actually tokenize it. Then you got to find a company that's actually going to authenticate it. Then you got to find a company that's actually going to listen to either of those two companies and put your RWA onto the chain. And these three things all together are now going to somehow be the onboarding event of 2024. How?
Because
hang on, if I can retort here, sorry. Go ahead, Jay Chains, if you want.
I'll let you go in deep, but the simple answer is because this bull run is going to be 100% fueled from institution money, not retail. So retail can get fucked off on this side of the equation, and no one cares because all of the money is coming from institutional, and that is the shit that they understand stocks, bonds, commodities. They understand real estate. They understand that. That's their fucking wheelhouse. That's why it's going to be massive, because billions of dollars are coming into our ecosystem, maybe more, from institutional money, and that's the game that they play. Those are the ecosystems that they know.
And it wasn't a crazy onboarding event though. But billions came in last time, and we're still at the same amount of people. I don't understand why we think money going to people that already have money is going to be a huge onboarding event.
No, Vector, what he's saying is like, and I completely agree. I'm less bullish on like collectible RWAs and more bullish on like basically blockchain becoming like the under layer of all finance, because that's what it's supposed to do.
And
so
I
like
understand
now how that looks in terms of like how that looks in terms of capital
event.
coming in, I don't know. Like I don't know what blockchain is going to benefit the most from this. All I know is that like before you know it, your Wells Fargo or your Bank of America account, it's all going to be tokenized. Like you're just gonna have a wallet with this bank now, and you're just gonna be trading like digital US dollars. And then any stocks you buy or bonds you buy, it's all gonna be tokenized because it just makes complete sense to do so. How that benefits blockchain, again, I have no idea. I don't know which chain's going to benefit from this. All I know is that blockchain is going to be used in this. Now there's like speculation on which chain is going to benefit, obviously. But like I'm more bullish on like, again, RWAs being more so the financial underpinning of the under layer of all finance.
I understand both sides of all this, and I think Bleeves is chomping at the bit to say something. What you got for us, my guy?
The piece that like nobody, I don't get how people don't understand how the economies all work here. So the real world assets will have value because institutions are coming in. And right now, when you have a real world asset, for example, in cryptocurrency, and I think Vector kind of pointed it out, he was like, well, now you have to have this, you have to buy a PFP, which you then have to take to a store, and then you have to figure out somebody to do that. We don't have to figure out those people at all, because the real world assets that are going to matter, that are going to sustain and going to last, are going to be people like, right now we've got crypto bros like, bro, let's make like a fucking seal, and then that's going to be super sweet, and then we're going to have this company make it and stuff like that. The companies are going to step in and they're going to make it for yourself, and they're going to become collectibles. I mean, guys, we go to different stores to buy like Goku. We go buy AEW because I watch wrestling. You can go to a store and you can buy like an AEW action figure and stuff like that. Well, whoever makes that, they're going to be stepping into the arena. They're going to be creating the profile. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is buy it, and they will take care of the rest. That's what institution coming into this means.
That has to go and has to go authenticate their Rolex, because that was the big talk, was going and taking your shit, okay, all your antiques and all your cool stuff, all right, and then going and authenticating it and turning it into a real world asset on the blockchain. And so like that was the conversation. So I mean, what you're saying, obviously you're rounding it out into a much broader sense. But the conversation was, this was going to be the onboarding event of the fucking century, and that people are going to, that this whole process of authenticating your shit was going to be such a huge value proposition that grandmas were going to start, authenticating their wristwatches and their jewelry and shit. And it was just like hilarious. So I wanted you guys to, to kind of like give it a full tail of the tape in a sense. That's all.
I love that, and Vector, I appreciate that. We love discourse here. That is like that's what's going to make our ecosystem grow, is where we can have these conversations and still navigate through it professionally. That's a great way to say it. But that being said, guys, it is 9:30. It is 9:30, and I know Coach saw a message from Coach. Coach is taking a little time off right now, so he's not going to be here to blow the whistle. But if it is your first time watching the show, thank you for being here, guys. Smash the like if you are watching on a medium that has a like button. But at the halfway point of the show, because what we like to say is you got to have a healthy mind, a healthy body, and a healthy portfolio. And so we do a little pause here. This song is from our producer, 74K. He actually wrote this song in 15 minutes the other day. It's just a beat. It's a workout beat, but he did it in 15 minutes from 9:15 to 9:30, and we debuted it last week on one of our shows. We're going to do it for you here. And if anybody freestyles, you're more than welcome to freestyle on the mic while we're doing this. This beat is fresh. I have a feeling you'll find the pocket very quickly. I'm gonna switch over to the main cam, and I'm gonna do some arm workouts. Turbo, Kegels.
Yes. No. I'm gonna do curls. I'm gonna actually, you know what? Yep. I'm gonna do a twofer. I'm doing Kegel curls. I'm gonna do curls and Kegels at the same doggone time.
Curls and Kegels.
That's called a twofer, baby.
Let's get it. All right. Bleeves, you don't have to do the workout if you want. Sometimes people just do the mental workout. We didn't really prepare you for this, so I don't. Maybe you can do push-ups or sit-ups if you want, jumping jacks. You can do whatever. But we'll be right back, folks.
You'll never catch me freestyling, by the way.
Come on.
You're gonna come on. Let's go.
Welcome to the Web3 Breakfast, baby.
No, can't just stop.
All right.
Oh,
yo, what a treat! If y'all are not on, if you are not on live stream, Bleeves
Where's my
taking his
mouse?
shirt off.
My freaking guy, what a beast! Hunk in
Dude,
the
look at
house.
those traps. Jeez Louise.
Thank God I got my shirt
Holy
on.
Toledo.
Wow. Bleeves, did you wrestle? Were you a wrestler?
No, I used to bodybuild.
Okay.
And, I got back into exercise and stuff like that not too long ago. I was feeling a little out of shape, so went back into it. And once you've got the muscle, it just kind of comes back pretty quickly. Also, by the way, I just want to point out, off topic, Myro's pumping right now.
You asked me that last night. You said Myro pump or dump, and I said, you know what? I'm not feeling it. I think it's going to go down. I was wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it is what it is. Here we go. Let's look at some markets really quick. Coin market, the market cap 1.7 trillion, down 1.6% today. You got ETH dominance down. I think it was a little bit higher yesterday. So, or Bitcoin dominance at 50.1%, down a little bit today, isn't that? What was it yesterday? 51 something? I don't remember.
I wasn't paying. I don't worry about that until it's time to worry about that. When somebody gives me one of those messages, like, because I don't care long term, you know what I mean? Like that ETH coin dominance, that just tells me whether I'm getting an altcoin season, and I use that altcoin index to tell me whether or not, I'm feeling it or not. And you just pop into it right now. Altcoin season index is at 57. So, and I don't think, by the way, it matters until we get to 50,000 Bitcoin.
No.
I think that kicks off maybe a mini altcoin season, because people take their profits at that point. I think that's it's a psychological level. And then the next psychological level after that is the all-time high. So that's where we're going to get a mini altcoin season and then a full-blown altcoin season. That's the way I see it.
Let's go. I know there's a lot of people who are excited for
Yo,
that.
looking at these prices, Jay, was like probably about 3 weeks ago. Prices right here. I'm down. I'm looking around like Immutable, down at $1.89. I like that. Aptos 8.15. That was just up around 10. Also, with the size back down, that's been like giving me, dude. I've just had so much. It just keeps just playing with my emotions. But like I'm still holding strong, and that's why you shouldn't really follow them. But I see some down here in the bottom that are looking really good. It's almost like the price is reset. So if you were sitting there thinking like, dang, like I wish I could have made some money on Immutable, or like, dang, I wish I could have hit that Aptos. Some of these down here that got some running room. Hey, there's a good time. This is a good time to get back in.
Yeah,
you're like thinking about it.
Celestia's been on a tear. That thing's 22 up on the week, down 10.4 on the day. Like, there's some opportunities in there because that thing's probably going to keep going back on the trajectory that it was on before yesterday's little mishap. What do we think about that?
Yeah. Come on.
Is that going to be a reason for them to delay it? Have we seen anything?
No, Gary did it on purpose.
No.
It was like, I heard y'all on Twitter talking bad about me, all of you. I'm gonna show you, and he just like put it. I'm like, oh, someone's hacked my account.
It is wild and bonkers, everything that happened yesterday. And I do think that, and most people who are experts will say also, if you read what was posted, it wasn't ironic, it wasn't funny, it wasn't something that was made by some. It doesn't look like anything that was somebody trying to be like, I'm a crypto bro or anything like that. This is probably the announcement that was supposed to happen today, being released a day early. Somebody didn't set it up for the tweet to go out at the right time or something like that. Like and they're making it out to be a bigger thing than it is. And then, of course, because we are who we are and everything is a vast conspiracy to begin with, CNBC said, well, X was hacked or something like that. And then, everybody, the armchair quarterbacks were like, oh, X was hacked? X wasn't hacked. And then Elon Musk, since he's already paranoid about everybody, gets in on it and turns this into something way more than it is. The SEC released this a day early. And in fact, it could have been, one of those guys, the guys that are like, you're getting fired today and you have access to it. Like you have access to the Twitter and you're like, yo, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. You know what I mean? Like it could be one of those, or it could be that, just somebody set it to release it, 3:04 p.m. But it was supposed to be 3:04 p.m. today at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
I do not discredit that. We've all made that mistake. And actually, I saw some tweet, and who knows the validity to it, because it might have came from like that whale chart or whale report or one of those accounts, right? But they said like a source close to the SEC said that it was one of those kind of situations where someone just hit the wrong time on an important tweet. And we've all
felt like they're saying that without actually saying that, because whoever the quote unquote idiot is probably getting fired. You know what I mean? And so they're probably like, yeah, you can't work here anymore because, first of all, Gary is furious because he didn't get a bag. You know what I mean? So he's now tripping. He's like, you son of a bitch. I was going long. You understand that, right? Like this was going to be my fuck you money to the Democratic Party. And I didn't get there. So yeah, he's probably furious today. And we'll probably see a slightly different, because he's sitting in his office today right now going, we can't release the same goddamn thing, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to redo all this stuff, and
we're gonna need a new graphic, everything.
Yeah, it's gonna have to look a lot better than what it looks like right now. So I think that's what we're gonna see, and it'll still get approved. And according to Ben, he negotiated it with Gary this morning. They're just gonna release it later on today. So
that's great. We will be checking in with him. I believe that he's going to be doing the live stream. I'm not sure where in DC, but there was bad weather this morning. I don't know if he'll be at the SEC building or somewhere else, but there was bad weather this morning, so he is still there.
And I think we should take a moment for all the haters to thank Ben Armstrong for single-handedly getting this Bitcoin ETF to the finish line.
100%.
No help at all.
No, here's the deal. We talked about this the other day. Who else? AJ and I were talking about this after we checked in with Ben. I think it was on Monday. Who else is actually
with him when?
Who's doing anything? Who's doing anything else? You know what I mean? He's on there on the front lines at the SEC building when everyone else is just sitting at home trading their coins. No one else is on the street in the rain. I'm not. I'm here watching it all. I love it.
Certainly nobody named George.
Nobody named George. That's for sure. All right, let's get back. Shots fired. I love it.
And welcome back to the Fireman. Hey guys, thank you all so much for joining us at Web3 Breakfast. We do this every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Talking about some markets, we have a special guest in the building. You know, one of the triple OG Bleeves is in the building, guys. He also has his PFP is down there. If you guys want to give him a follow, make sure you definitely do that. Tap him with his YouTube. Also, if you are over on the YouTube, you know, make sure you hit the like button for us. And if you're in the Twitter space, repost.
No. You don't just hit the like button.
Oh, sorry. Smash the like button and all that jazz. No, you know, like I think it's I think all of this stuff here, man, you know, like I think everybody's just ready. You know, everybody's excited. You know, the people on both sides of the fence, right? Everyone just wants to see what's going to happen. The non-believers want to be able to be like, I told you so. Like, they are just so ready. You know what I mean? And then, you know, of course, us on this side, we're like, this is our day. That's our time. Jay, we did lose the bet, both of us. So when I seen that post come out, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, damn it. Jay wins again.
I mean, technically, I win because now Bleeves. Actually, here's the deal. You know what? We're going to take this, much like the crypto crossfire, we're taking this to the courts. We're taking this to the courts.
Okay.
We're going to do two things. I'm going to put up a poll, and we're going to give. This is what the rest of the show's about today, because I feel like I'm glad that you brought this up, because I feel like I win. Bleeves, last week. I'm going to set this up. Let me put myself on the big screen here. Last week, Turbo and I made an arrangement that we made a bet on the approval of the ETF. Turbo had, I believe it was last Friday. I had Tuesday. The announcement came out on Tuesday.
The sucker bet.
It's nothing for crazy. It's one AVAX, right? And so, no, two AVAX.
Yeah.
Two AVAX, right?
It came out from the SEC, so that's official. Even if it's not official today, it came out from SEC, at SEC Gov, the official site. I mean, you gotta give it up for that. I mean, even if we were quote unquote hacked or, you know, oopsie daisy, they actually did it. So, you know, I would think that, and look, if J Chains wants to hack the SEC website for $70, okay. I mean, you know, things happen. I
love that.
Right.
I love the amount of tenacity that he has. You know, you're absolutely right, Bleeves, because I can't even. You're right, Jay. You won that. I'm not even arguing with you, bro.
No.
The SEC did put it out, but I now am going to start a whole conspiracy around the fact that you was in on it.
Check my IP, brother.
And send your $70.
Check my freaking IP address, brother. Here's the deal. I put up a poll because it doesn't have to be me who wins. So the poll is either who wins the two AVAX bet. Is it me or is it the community? And if it's the community, then that means somebody in the community is going to win the AVAX. But if it's me, then I win the AVAX. So thank you for being on my side, Bleeves. I do appreciate that.
Well, as the person who names himself community in his own mind, I accept this victory with great vigor and aplomb. Type of vigor only reserved normally for well, you know something, Mean Gene. All my friends out here, all my J Chains, all my Turbos, all my people out here saying their prayers, eating their vitamins. What you gonna do when Bleeves Mania runs wild on you?
I love that. That's fun. That's why the wrestling theme is so great, because you can dig into it, man. And it's all shit from our, like, come on.
Yeah, we do have a hand up with our homie Ayan. What's going on, family? How you living?
Hey, morning, man. I'm doing great. Good morning. It's no complaints on my end. Even though what happened yesterday, I'm still happy, right? So one of the things I just wanted to bring up, because we're a couple people still not sure. Elon actually retweeted from Safety X that we can confirm that the account SEC Gov was compromised, and we have completed a preliminary investigation. I'll post that up in the mess. And then also there were a couple of lawyers that were talking about that tweet, and some of the terminology that was used within that tweet was just incorrect, being like that all of the ETFs were approved on all the exchanges. When these ETFs actually submitted their approvals or submitted, they were only submitting for like certain exchanges. So to say that all the ETFs were approved on all the exchanges, that's just incorrect. It wouldn't have been said like that.
Good to know. I wouldn't understand the nomenclature or how they would have chose to make that announcement. Not something I'm familiar with. So I'm glad that you got that for us.
Man,
what?
And I got to be honest too, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't even read the doggone tweet. All I saw was SEC approved Bitcoin. And it could have said anything else in between that, man. It was just sheer excitement.
Full disclosure.
It goes back to the emotions.
I retweeted without even thinking about it. I just said, "Oh shit, here we go!" Retweet, and then like a few minutes later, someone said, "You know that's that account was hacked, right?" I was like,
well, it's also say
the
that
thing is,
what Aeon's saying. So James Safer said in their investigation, like they were looking at it. Him and I think Eric Balkunas were looking at it, and they're like, this is exactly what the SEC would say. This is exactly what this is the exact wording that they would have used previously. There's nothing untoward about this, and that the most likely play out here is that this is just somebody pressed the button early or submitted it for the wrong time and didn't set it up. They were probably just trying to get it done, and they just put the wrong date on a tweet that they were scheduling for the future. But they agreed that it was most likely something that was internal and that it's not actually a hack or anything like that.
So here's the deal. I am a user of TweetDeck. If you guys have, if you're not like a constant poster and you do a lot of posting for like your show account or whatever, like then maybe you have never used TweetDeck. But TweetDeck is an amazing scheduler for tweets on the desktop. You can't use it on the mobile. It's the only way that you can schedule tweets is through TweetDeck. And this thing is amazing. I have done this about 1,000 times where I'm going to schedule a tweet, and instead of you hit schedule, you hit send. Very, very easy to do. Extremely easy to do. So I would think that's probably what happened.
Hey, you have your hand up? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to say one last thing. It was kind of funny because Coinbase also retweeted, and they had a tweet in the queue where it's like, "We love ETFs," and it was like a whole image, and it was actually quite interesting because I mean, how many people right now have all these tweets ready for this ETF to go out? I think Coinbase had one.
And that's good to know that that it's everyone. It goes back to the emotions thing. I mean, like keeping your emotions in check. And dude, I felt so bad too, Jay, because I got the tweet from a really trusted friend of mine. You know what I mean? So I automatically was like, oh shoot, this is good. No check, no nothing. I post it. You get it from the group. You post it, and that's how fast this misinformation can be spread. You know what I mean? And the effects, like how these effects have on the market and on people. Mm-hmm. I mean, bro, there are probably some people that probably lost some cheddar yesterday.
Oh, dude,
over $1 billion. I was just gonna say over $1 billion got liquidated.
Yeah, because that was the thing. Like when we were looking at that chart in the afternoon, I was like, "There's no way this thing rips without clearing those things out." And what we saw play out is that it ripped all the shorts first because it went straight up to 48, cleared everything above it, and then went straight down and cleared that shit out. So that was just a clear like we're getting everybody realigned here before the big show happens. Man, I was gonna ask you a question, Bleeves. What damn, it's escaped me. It's gone. Fleeting moment. I hate those.
Well,
the answer to your question that you didn't ask is only creatine.
Okay, good to know.
Only creatine. Only creatine. I was gonna say I did find that. I did look. Yahoo Finance just put out a an article an hour ago about the whole Elon thing, and Elon goes in and blames them, saying that they didn't have their extra security.
Yeah, they didn't have 2FA
on the Twitter app itself.
They didn't have 2FA, which what somebody was saying, there's actually some law or something where the SEC now has broken basically one of their own rules and regulations by not having, it's like the Titan security, by not having 2FA on their Twitter account. Like, how stupid is that? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Class action lawsuit?
No, you can't. No.
Okay.
That doesn't work. Could you sue the SEC?
If you lost money, probably.
Nah, they wouldn't let you sue the SEC. You can't sue the government. You can't sue the president. You can't sue the government. You just can't do those things. I don't think. Right?
Yes, you can.
You can?
Yeah, you absolutely can. It's so here's the underlying problem with that is that you have to, the government gets sued all the time, but you have to be able to prove that it wasn't like that bona fide error or something like that. Like, but the government is always sued. There's always, remember, like we just finished Grayscale's lawsuit against the SEC. You know what I mean? You can sue these people for that. It's you have to be able to establish that there was like a malicious intent in this one, and not just market conditions. Market conditions would be rife for being hacked or something like that. And there's no fixing this, by the way. There's no fixing. As a matter of fact, I saw a bunch of people out here that were like, I got liquidated for, I think, $400,000 on one position.
Oof.
Like, there's, and by the way, I don't think most of these are accurate, but there was one guy who's like, I just lost everything, I don't know what everything means to somebody. I lost everything. I lost everything 3 days ago, and here I am. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what everything really means, but it's look. All I can say is Gary Gensler. There's no trust in the SEC at this point.
No,
Gary Gensler has violated all of that. So anybody who is sitting out here right now trusting in Gary Gensler, I'm looking at you, Jocahontas, hoya bunga, me Liz Warren, me Mickey, like Gary Gensler, whatever the fuck you say. You have just shown yourself to be a clown hack supporting another clown hack. By the way, YouTube, don't at me, but it's their channel. They did that.
That's how it works.
But it's just wild that these are the people that get supported. These are the people that Liz Warren's like, everything is fine. It's all the crypto bros that are doing it. And then, here we are, $1 billion liquidated in minutes. And
no recourse because of their mistake. No recourse.
Right.
And that's one of the biggest problems that we'll see there. What do you would you like to pull up look at any charts, please, see if there's anything that we should be looking at? And then what do you think about that news of the XRP ETF? That thing's got me like, I'm telling you what, man, it's got my my palms sweating if that's like something that's going to happen like soon.
That's that to me sounded crazy. Like it just didn't make any sense that something like that would be happening this early. But you know what? Once you've opened Pandora's box, I mean, why not? So let me pull this up. And
I love that, because I mean, that would be something to finally get XRP rolling. I know a lot of people have just been waiting for that to happen.
All right, so let's close everything out here and just kind of look. Bitcoin had this absolute just crazy. I guess maybe we should do the 1 hour to kind of look at it. So this candle right here represented everything that happened in that period of time yesterday. Not even the biggest candle, by the way. I want to add, for people who were like, oh my God, this is happening. Not even the biggest thing. So here's what I think is going to happen today. I think we're going to get the announcement. And then I think if you look at this, what we got, and I'm going to zoom into some tighter time frames, because when you look at it this way, then what you see is an enormous move up to 48,000. That triggered a whole bunch of short positions because everybody was setting themselves at 48,000. 48,000 is the program number. So then you set everybody up for this, and then all of those people started to move it down into this range right here. And then, of course, this started to liquidate all of the people. This got down into that range that we were looking at with people getting liquidated, which, of course, caused the buyback. Now, this is the playbook. We got a massive spike followed by a massive dump. So if I'm saying that this is probably what's going to happen again, then I have to take it from the context of market makers now know this is the playbook, and the playbook looks like that and then that. So I don't think that's possible. I don't think that, you know, I don't think that that's what the market maker is going to do right now. I think what we're going to look at right now is we're going to see a real God candle form. And by the way, in this time frame, we learned that Gary Gensler was full of it and that they had been compromised as well. So we dumped down here and then we started a buyback. We were buying this back very quickly. Now, understand that to me, that means, you know, if this were normal circumstances and we didn't get the our bad sort of move here, that candle right there, that wick at the bottom signifies to me we're about to move crazy, right? We were about to go up pretty big time. That liquidation event, that buy the rumor, sell the news, wasn't going to happen the way that we thought it was going to happen, or at least it was just going to be short-lived, and then we were going to be up here in this 50 to 52,000 range. Nick, I hope you're listening to me because you're about to owe me an ETH. And
which he's a pussy. I know. I know he's got a broken rib, and I shouldn't have said that out loud. I love you, brother.
But this move right here, this was just the start. I mean, you guys, look, we didn't pump in 5 minutes. Also, by the way, I do want to add, this is a 15-minute chart right here. So all of that happened within 30 minutes. So we didn't pump that hard and dump that hard and then get it eaten back up that hard because we're going down.
Right.
Okay. That happened because this thing is set to send. Now, by the way, when I say send, remember, there's a piece to it that we're looking at, and that is, where is altcoin season? Altcoin season is right there in that 50 to 52,000 range that I've been laying out for a long period of time. 48,000 is not altcoin season. So we're going into this range, and that's when we start to come back down. The question is whether we come back down and start taking off, or whether we come down for a breather while this happens. And here's the interesting part. First of all, the market, the way that we're going to see this market play out is not like we would have seen it before. The broskies, all of us old bros, we're going to be putting our money into alts. It's going to be, 50,000. We're going to be like, all right, so let's get into Avalanche. Let's get into Solana. That's when we start to see the altcoins run. But here's the thing. Institution, they don't care about that at all. So we're going to see that move. We're going to see that dip. We're going to be seeing altcoin, bro. But then Bitcoin's going to reverse. And the question then becomes whether or not we really get a full-on altcoin season, or whether we just get a quick pause, a massive pump on some of them before everybody says, wait a minute, Bitcoin's not stopping. And then we get the reversal and people get back into Bitcoin. I think we're going to see something that we've never seen before. I mean, it should be obvious at this point. We're probably going to get some radical sort of move on this whole thing. Like it makes sense to me that it's not something that we've ever seen before.
Yeah. Now, and so this, and I'm thinking about like what you really quick, Turbo, because I've been thinking exactly the same thing about what you're saying. But I think we're going to see the reversal of what we saw yesterday, and it's going to be a sharp dip down. I even put this out this morning. Do you think 39.6, that gap? We've got a gap there. Do you think that gap is in play? Fill that fucker and then rip it. And like when you say send, just like Gregory Ward said, dude, it's not send, it's full send. Like, is 39.6 in play to fill that gap? One last attempt before we go to Valhalla.
So, I mean, I guess really you just kind of zoom out and you go to your heat map and you say, well, where's the money? Oops, wrong heat map. You go into your heat map and take it out to a year and go find out where that money is. And then you start looking at it. But here's the thing. The money may be here, but I mean, if you really wanted to get into it, it's 34,000. So, You know what I mean? Like there's a long way to go for us to get into that range. And I think the point of fact is, if you look at this, one thing that Bitcoin does not want, or at least BlackRock and ARK 21, what they don't want is they don't want to show you that type of volatility. That doesn't serve them very well. That's the antithesis to what they want to see. What they want to see, what the SEC wants to see, what everybody wants to see is at least a reasonable level of stability and a little more predictability out of the market than what we just saw.
Right.
And by the way, when I say just saw, it's because we look at it and we see, like, we've had this a couple of times, but that's actually not that bad of a move. You know what I mean? But those kind of moves, imagine what it would take to get down into 34,000 at this point. Imagine the effort that it would take to dump all the way down to some of these sort of levels. I would say that we're not going to, I don't even know that we're going to fill that gap at this point. Like, I think that we got close the last time, but I think that that's, that might be as close as we get now
until after in 2025, maybe after the bull market.
Right, because you have to consider that we're gonna be retesting these in 2 or 3 or 4 years anyway. So we're looking at coming back down here, and we'll fill those gaps. And by the way, there are plenty of gaps. A lot of people always say that you have to fill those gaps. Plenty of gaps don't get filled. You can go back and you can look at a CME chart and you can see that all the way down the line, they don't always get filled. They just usually get filled. But when you get the move in that opposite direction, which takes you on another trajectory, well, then it just doesn't get filled. And then, of course, some of those people just opt out of those positions at some point. You know what I mean? Like, they don't last forever. So, there's expiries every Friday. So, we may just see that not become an issue at some point in the future.
There was so many fill in the gap jokes that I missed out on that I'm glad we didn't get into. But Bleeves, man, I listen, I appreciate you. This has been fun. We gotta do more of this, man. This,
absolutely.
This was a great conversation today. Appreciate everybody that tapped in, joined us. Thank you guys for participating over on the Twitter space. That's something that we do here, is that we do the Twitter space with the live stream, and we include the community every day in there. So it's a fun thing. Bleeves, thanks for joining us, man. Thanks to all your community for tapping into, and we will be back. We're back tomorrow. What what's your it's just at Bleeves Crypto, right? There's no underscore, there's no hyphen.
At Bleeves Crypto, yeah.
Make sure you give Bleeves a follow, guys. He's a real one. He's one of the homies, and we're gonna see a lot more of him here at the breakfast table. So adios, amigos. We will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Full day of programming. You got AJ at he's probably gonna be at 11 today, and then Ben at noon as always, and then we'll see what happens in the afternoon. Adios, guys. Have a good one.